Hey everybody, it's Krahmon. I am here today with a new video on how to build properly and efficiently in stone on ARK Survival Evolved. And the guide is pretty intuitive. I do go into a bit of a ramble, but you know, I was explaining life experiences from playing official servers doing this. So anyway, I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and if you do, thumbs up and share would be great. And if you are new, please go ahead and subscribe, because I will be continuing more projects on especially quality of life for ARK efficiency and stuff like that. Just stuff that made my time on official so much easier. And keep in mind with the stone guide, it's just with 2 people doing it. If you have 4 people doing it, this will go so much faster. So anyway, I really do hope you enjoy the video, and I will catch you at a later point. Later. Okay. Alright, so first thing we do, I'm gonna hop on the moose, and I'm actually gonna run back this way because this little area here is phenomenal for gathering. But just so everybody can see in this video, these are the stats on this moose, and these are highly obtainable. A little bit more weight on it than I care for, but a lot of it comes from me, actually. So let me drop a few things here. Oh wait, wrong button for dropping. I'm thinking I'm playing Conan Exiles. Alright. Alright. Okay, so this thing's sitting at 138 carry weight out of 308, which isn't great. The only way I can counter that would be to go into but I want to creative mode, but I want this to be as realistic as I can. So all gather rates are at normal. The only stat different is the player's carry stat. So alright, here we go.
Well, the weight on that is still decent because each stack of thatch only weighs 2 pounds.
Mind you, this is only getting, this is not getting a lot of thatch compared to what I'm used to, but it's still much more effective in a lot of ways. Let me, just out of curiosity, I'm going to do, okay, see, I have an ascendant pick though, so with high melee, that's why that's gathered so well. But alright, and getting slowed down now. Alright, and we're gonna drop the wood, which is counterintuitive to what you would think you're doing here, but we'll get so much with the Therizina, it ain't gonna matter at all. Oh, yep, got it encumbered again, so let us drop that wood again. Oops, killed a saber-tooth salmon. Whoopsie. And I'm moving really slow. Hold on. Drop that. And drop some more wood. Alright. Okay, I'm getting to the point where this thing has no carry weight at all. Left. Alright. Okay, now I've pretty well cleared out this here. Let me grab some more on the way over. And you're gathering wood, right?
Yeah, hard to gather stuff.
Alright. Alright. And basically, wow, this thing is really moving slow. But yep. Alright. And basically it goes through gather wood. Okay, you already gathered all the stone you could, right? Okay.
Yeah, but you can also put the stats on the screen, so.
Yeah, okay. And this one's stats are, as you can see, 607 carry weight, 938 melee, 2040 stam, and these were all 100 tames, except for the Argentavis, because not everybody's going to go for the highest level they can starting out. And here's the stats for the Therizino. This is one of our average builds for it, not our war build, but our gathering build. And here's the stats on the RG. It's actually still a really high melee stat, which is spectacular actually. 2600 carry weight, which is amazing. 2k stam minimum for an Argentavis in my opinion. And basically you fill up the moose with thatch, fill up with stone, and fill up with wood with the Therizino. Now we go through and we start siphoning it to the bird. First things first, we're going to take thatch because it weighs the least. Now let me crouch to get under the Therizino if I can. Alright, there we go. All right.
And this is for the reinforced Behemoth gate.
Yep. Reinforced Behemoth gate.
Otherwise, you don't have to use the RG except for the carry weight, since you have to make all the stone structures otherwise in your.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Now, this works for any of the stone structures technically, because these are the basic elements for every one of them. So, are you transferring the wood?
Yep.
I'm going to transfer as much stone as I can. Oh, I actually can transfer all of it. I'm going to put those berries back on it, because that thing will... and like I said, the only carry weight that we have different here is player carry weight, not tames. Alright, so...
Because the RG carry weight, it can hold all of this was pretty much out of problem.
Yep.
Or maybe not the stones.
Oh my god, I Ric Flaired it. Oh good god. Instead of WOO to go to wood, I went triple. And it was woo. Oh wow. And besides, I don't even have the wood on me. I have stone. I'm being really smart here. Alright, now I'll put all the stone on there. Did you already put all the wood? Yep. Okay, and now we've always worked on the frames first. So I can already craft one. I'll go ahead and craft it. And then we're going to be lacking in wood by 200 for doing another one.
Yep.
Which is...
I'm grabbing more.
You know, this is actually really, like, the fastest way. Now, if we were building anything but these gates, we would be breezing through. I'm going to gather more stone because I used a lot of it, too. And, like, you just find a valley like this. This valley is, like, one of the best gathering spots for stone structures I've ever found on the isle. And actually, I'll go ahead and bring up my map so you can see where I'm at on this map. And this is where this valley is. Absolutely phenomenal gathering area for stone structures. I mean, this is the grindy part of it, but this is going to be so much faster than anything you do by hand, unless you have Ascendant tools. Which, you know, if you're building in stone, but generally speaking, you're not that high a level. But my thing is I always enjoy, or like on officials, I always build the framework with stone or thatch first. Or preferably thatch to a degree, and then I replace with stone while I'm gathering to go to metal. Just because thatch will not stand up to anything. Stone will stand up to anything but a giga and explosives. Well, actually, I might be wrong. There's a few dinos now I think that can damage stone structures.
There's Xenos can, but not very much.
Yeah, we've put that to the test too. But and this thing is, oh yeah, and we call them the little poop monsters most of the time because all they do is run around and crap. But getting to the point where I'm almost
fastest for gathering. But it's always faster if you have 2 or 3 people doing it.
If you can have all four, or, you know, all 4 teams being occupied, 4 people gathering, 1 person flying to whoever, taking some of the load off with the RG, this will go 10 times faster. Because you're not going to be trying to huff it all the way back encumbered. But, yeah, this is the kind of stuff, this was one of our secrets to how we were all absolutely crazy builders, or well, my tribe was. We would get wrecked
on it. Well, actually, the sad part is we were crazy builders long before we started doing this kind of work, and we did it all by hand. By hand with a parasaur. Like, that's how, like, crazy it was.
I didn't use a parasaur.
I know, you just pumped your carry weight in melee and ran out and gathered him and brought it back, and I did the same. And we would be built back up by the next day, if not that same day, and be bigger by the next day with all of our teams replaced, more or less, and then some. We're always crazy about that stuff. I don't know, you know, if that was just us or what, but I know that some tribes always freaked out about it that we encountered. They always were like, well, how do you do that? And we're just like, well, we don't understand, because this is just how we are. And then I was thinking about it, maybe we just approach this a little differently than some, unless you're an established tribe. You don't necessarily know what all this is about. So, alright, and just for, like, references, that was one stone gate. I can do 3 now from just gathering that second time, because there's always going to be leftover materials. But just to give you like an idea, I'm actually going to
There was 2 loads from each of the teams, except for the Therizino, which did 3.
yeah, for wood. I mean, that's for your gate frames. You could do your gates, your gate frames, your giant hatches. However, like, since you have to craft the foundations and walls and everything in your inventory, this is still probably the best way to gather. And then you just siphon off what you need. Like, I'll stand right here between them. Like, right now the RG has everything I need pretty much, so I'm gonna take a bunch of thatch. Hell with it, I'll try to take all of the thatch if I can. And I can. Now I'm gonna try to take as much wood as I can, because I have a bunch of stone on me. Not we. Alright. Yeah, I'll take that.
The only other thing that could get wood better is the beaver and the mammoth. But the beaver, I don't know, it's kind of slow somewhat.
Yeah, and the mammoth is extremely slow.
Yes, unless you use it with the quets.
Yeah, and which you can. And see, like right now, just from what we gathered, we've already built 1 gate frame, but on my screen you can see I can craft 63 stone foundations from that little bit of gathering. And stone foundations are the most resource heavy for a lot of the stone pieces.
It's the most resource heavy unless you're going to the gates.
The gates, yeah. So like, that's just what, like I said, my carry weight isn't extremely high because I did pump that stat. So obviously you'd be doing this in sections, but in 2 gathering rounds for all the tames but the Therizino, which was 3. Wait, you took the moose back out?
Yeah, I didn't put
Okay.
everything back on the RG with it though.
Okay.
But yeah, I took it back out again.
Okay, well, you see 2 of 3 tames running around, and then a 3rd one. No, wait, that was only 2. Never mind. Yeah, sorry. 2 Megalosaurus runs, or Saros, sorry, and 2 Doedicurus runs, and 3 Therizino runs, and we could easily crafted over 100 stone foundations. And if you do the layered stone foundations, this will be the absolutely most effective way you can do it. And
if you do the basic building, you could have an easy medium-sized base in about 20 minutes.
oh yeah, I mean, like, I could lay out the 100 foundations here, it'd be a 10 by 10, and that's a pretty good sized base. So you imagine, like, you pop that up and then you just spend the time after that crafting your gates around it, and suddenly, hey, you already have a fortress that you can just keep adding to. You know, literally with this method, I'm not lying at all. With this method, it was what, in 2 hours we crafted 50 something gates and doors.
45 minutes, we had 58 gates.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, yeah, that's pretty epic. Like you understand, or anybody that's placed the gates knows, that's a lot of space. Like you can see here in the background, I'm showing I have a bunch of gates down, and I looped the entire top of this area, and I think I only used like maybe 80 gates. So we're talking 45 minutes. So basically, let's do hour and a half, 2 hours. You could gate off the entirety of this upper area with these 4 tames. And that's it. These 4 tames. And the RG was a 150 because basically it's really not as hard to tame an RG as it is like the Therizino. Therizino, I had that as a 100 because not everybody's going to go for the 150 for the amount of time it takes to tame them. I have horror stories of a double times weekend where we spent 5 hours, was it crop feeding a Therizino that was 150. Me and another tri-mate, we would take turns making sure that it was pumped full of narcotics. These things are a beast to try to tame. That's why I only went with the 100, because that's a lot more likely for everybody to tame, unless you're, you know, super hardcore prepared for everything. But the Therizino, still to this day, probably the most useful tame, in my opinion. These things can be built for gathering, they can be built for carry weight, they can be built for war. And my buddy Andrew Gall here, who my brother I should say, has a very interesting story about one of our war Therizinos that, yeah, just go ahead and explain what happened. We were doing a base defense for our own base, and we had allies show up. And explain to him.
I had somebody that was red named that I didn't know that was an ally before they got joined into the alliance. Showed up on a fire wyvern that was over level 200. And I started attacking it with the Therizino. Broke his armor and nearly killed the wyvern in about less than a minute with him lighting me on fire.
And Therizino had like no damage on it. And the moral of the story is the guy's armor was Mastercraft and above that he broke. And like when he realized he wasn't stopping like attacking, so he started attacking back, but it was literally 45 seconds. That wyvern was bloody as hell and at under half health with it trying to fight back. Now if it was in the air, obviously it's a different story, but prolonged, you know, any air battle with a Therizino, unless you are being carried by a wyvern or a Quetzal, is improbable. However, we have done the battles with that. That was rather interesting. We did that a few times in one of the base defenses we did. We had a lot of fun with that. If they got into range, that Therizino was just killing them. I posted a video on this channel of a guy attempting to attack Androgal, and he was just like having a crossbow battle with a trank arrow. It was a trank arrow battle, and the guy wasn't doing so great, but me being who I am, I'm like, nope, you ain't after my brother. I run out on one of our Therizinos, and I just clothesline the hell out of him. I hit him so hard his body glitched out. It was great. Like, and I gotta get the clip. I gotta get the clip from Androgal's PS4, which I can do now, and I gotta take his perspective of it and put it up with you know, with mine, because I posted my version, but him seeing me do it is so much funnier, like absolutely hysterical, and I was dying laughing anyway. But after I watched his perspective on it, it was just 10 times funnier to me. It was so great. Oh, and I got a nice
Yeah.
game lag there for a
See the
second.
epicness of the Therizino come up and just slap him in the back of the head.
It was great. I loved it. But Therazinos, generally for war, we do not touch, like in this case, we pumped the hell out of the carry weight to at least a K, which was our standard gatherer rate. And we used to do 150 movement speed Therazinos before they nerfed movement speed on across the board. And they were phenomenally evil. Like, they were just my favorite thing in the world. We were using them in battles with Rexes. It was great. I actually was using, and the Moose, also not to be discounted, especially now with this bleed effect. I don't know why this... Yeah, movement, speed, stamina, and melee. And you just go absolutely crazy. I think I had one with the reindeer costume on, and I loved it. I dressed as the evil ARK Santa. Anyway, that is we got off on a tangent talking about our history with some of these dinos, but the moral of all this is legitimately the only way that I build officially, or like especially on island, official server building for stone. This is the only way I will do it if I have the option. Now if I'm starting out trying to do it, it's a different story. I don't have the tames. I rough it like everybody else. But until, like, once I get these 4 tames and all of them are super accessible, you just got to know where to go look for them.
Except for the Therizino because of the amount of time it takes.
Yes, that's the big one that's a problem. But RG's not a problem for taming. Moose, not really a problem for taming. Dodicarus, not a problem for taming. If you do not have the kibble, though, for the Therizino, even if you have the kibble for the Therizino, they can be a pain to tame. But in a video I'll be doing here later on, probably actually set up for that right after we're done with this video. I'll at least lay the groundwork. You can trade for with some of the larger servers that actually have the bred Therazinos, and they are, I think, a 5-day raise, which is not horrible. But I recommend running Mejoberry runs for feeding them, unless you're doing kibble, because they just get more food out of it and it lasts better. But if you can do that, trade for an egg for a Therizino from another tribe that has them. Any level Therizino, and I mean this literally, any level Therizino can be a dangerous thing. And if you've ever been killed in the wild by a low level Therizino and just was like, how the hell did it do that? I mean, they're just that dangerous. Yes, I'm talking about you. It's staring at me right now. But yes, that would be like, unless you're hardcore tame only, I'm taming this so we can, get more and all that. Trading for an egg would be probably the easiest way. And you can do that with the CP farm that I'm going to be doing here shortly. But other than that, easy to get all of these tames, other than the Thera, or Theri, however people want to call it. I call it Thera for some reason. That's just how I am. Maybe it's Theraflu. I don't know. I just need to name one of them Flu. Ah, hell with it. We're going to do it. Yes, I am literally... There. I now have a Theraflu. Anyway. Alright, enough of the comedy portion of the act, which is stupid. I don't know why I'm laughing, because I don't know, I'm entertaining myself, I guess. But, oh no, he's gonna... Okay, yes, we're gonna stop it. We're gonna stop it. Okay, I swear. Alright. Using this... Ah, Jesus! Alright. No, you don't... No, you're not getting my tool, okay? But the, using this method, you can build massive bases Ah! Jesus. That was scary. But anyway, that's my guide, as rambling as it was, to building in stone, especially the the stone reinforced behemoth gates are essential for expanding, because if you don't have them up, you're gonna get messed with all the time. And that's just the nature of it.
If not with people, they're just random animals in your front yard.
Yeah, it's never good to like walk outside your base and there's 5 Troodons. That is just no fun at all, because that has happened to us without having those gates up. And depending on how far your base is from the gates, though, that can still happen. So, you know,
being spawn camped by Troodons is the worst thing you can ask for.
Oh god, that is, and like that's from legit experience. We have been spawn camped by by goddamn Troodons, and you're helpless the whole time. Like, they knock you out, you're just helpless till they kill you, and half the time
sometimes they'll just troll you and just knock you out and just run around you.
And then when you get up,
you're about to wake up,
they'll put you back under. Yeah, it's so bad, so annoying. But yeah, that's a wild card. You know, they programmed that in there just to troll us, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. And if you enjoyed the guide, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I do continually make videos. I do stream on Twitch, and so I'm nervous now because he's wanting to attack me, and like, he's at a distance, but he's in tech gear, so that can change in a moment. Yeah, like that. Yeah, okay, guys. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. So later. I'm gonna